God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Loving this light. Here's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Oh, that hearing, that R. Kelly hearing, it was pretty explosive. What do y'all think? What did y'all get from that?
Whoa! Fire! Yes, explosive.
Yep, Greenberg. I don't like him, but Greenberg has some shots. Fire, baby.
Oh yeah. Well, let me do this since people may be listening to this now at this point. So, just in case you're confused, R. Kelly, there was a hearing this morning. R. Kelly's attorney Greenberg and Leonard, they both filed a motion to be removed or for withdrawal from the trial or from the case. Very close to the trial. That set things off on social media, and then here we are at the hearing to settle it with the judge. And it turns out, it seems that R. Kelly actually fired them. This is what came from the prosecution. I'm sorry, the defense. R. Kelly fired them before the motion. They say something different, but it's infighting. So a bunch of infighting, and I blame Nicole Becker.
Yes. And I think R. Kelly said, no, Greenberg said that he received an email that terminated them. An email. Because the judge hadn't received nothing about them being fired.
Right.
Yeah. He said it was after he submitted his motion, but he said he submitted his motion to which is the jail, the housing facility where R. Kelly is at. So she told him to submit it to the court like he normally does.
Right. And my thing is, what he also said, he said that prior to the email, he did get that word, but it wasn't like an official word. And then he said following his motion, he got an email from someone who claimed to have power of attorney.
Yeah.
Robert.
Can you believe that? Federal court claiming to have power of attorney. There are strict procedures that neither Nicole nor Tom look like they are ready. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
I think Nicole Becker was claiming to be power of attorney with her emotional self.
Oh, I agree. So let's break this down. So they started off, the judge asked, what is this about? I got a motion for the two of the attorneys to withdraw. What's up? And so Greenberg steps up. He says, basically, we're not getting responses to emails initially. This is how it started. He said that R. Kelly refused to see them twice. And that was basically the camel that broke the back, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But he said in between that, there were concerns with members of the defense. There's a party member of the defense that can't deal with stress. It's publicly documented. He said it's publicly documented. So I don't know if that's a medical documentation or what he's referring to, but the judge interrupted him because she could tell this was about to get hella messy. And she said, also there was almost 200 people on the call. So she smartly stopped him. I mean, for my sake, of course, we wanted her to let him roll. Let him rock with that. What's up? But for her case and where she stands, we can't have this. This is a big case. You cannot show the world that this is what's going on. And guess what? It all stems from R. Kelly, just like the YouTube stuff. His own team can't get along.
Right.
Yeah. And then Greenberg mentioned going through discovery, which is evident. They really can't handle it. They emotional.
Yes, she can't handle the discovery, which says that the discovery is so powerful and so effective, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that is breaking down this powerful supposed prosecutor. I think she was a sex crime prosecutor too, right?
Yeah, right. He said they break down and then they shut down and they get all messed up mentally, their mental state, and then they have to go get help. Basically, she go to therapy.
So he's basically accusing her of being mentally unstable.
That's what he said. What he said, what was presented was mic dropping, and what wasn't said and what was inferred was enormous. But I do want to say that I felt that Greenberg told the Judge Ann, we've been going through discovery. In other words, I feel like Nicole's been going back and forth to the jail, talking to R. Kelly, and they don't even want to look at the discovery. How you gonna prepare for trial? And he's saying that that's what they have been focusing on. So,
well, he said that everyone wants first chair, everyone wants to open, everyone wants to close. And he said, of course, only one person can do those things. I mean, they can probably switch up and have somebody do an opening and somebody do a closing. First chair is first chair. That's the lead, in the courtroom. Right. So he's saying basically it's a shit show. Everybody wants top spot and they can't figure it out. So he got fired. So they convinced R. Kelly to fire them, basically.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happened. And Nicole definitely probably told R. Kelly to don't you talk to them, don't you let them come visit you, don't you say anything.
Right. Yeah.
And did y'all peep how she was immediately lying, saying that R. Kelly had counseled with her first to speak to the judge? And they knew about it. That I could tell that was a lie.
Yes, and that's why the judge didn't allow it. So
and you could tell.
Let's go back real quick to when Greenberg was basically spilling all this tea on Nicole, because we know that's who he was talking about. Nicole Becker then interrupts, but she interrupted inappropriately. Like the judge shut her down. Like, wait a minute, who's speaking? Who's speaking? First of all, let me school you. This is a federal courtroom. We're on a phone hearing. You need to address who you are. We have a court reporter who needs to know these things. Like, get it together. And she was like, she just was like, I felt like she was over there sniffing on some of that white powder. I mean, she just seemed something was up with her. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think
Thomas was no better. Did we lose Priscilla?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me bring her back in. What happened to you?
I don't know. I got you.
It's all good.
You could feel her anxiety.
Thomas had anxiety too. The judge had to check him. Hold on.
Right.
Slow down, Turbo.
Right. So exactly. So basically the judge tells Greenberg, look, we can't do this here. It sounds the road you're going down. We can't do it. So can you just put it in a motion, and we'll address it as properly. And so following that, Farinella, who is Kelly's other attorney, he jumps in, and this man, I mean, you would think he was on the run for his life. I mean, the way he was talking, Judge. Can we tell
100 miles a minute?
Oh my God. And the judge like, slow down. The reporter is taking notes. Like she had to tell him, relax. Yeah. I can't even imagine the looks on the judge's faces when she was on the phone. I know she was like.
He was like, you're a bit excited.
He was excited. He was
fucked up.
They were basically trying to shut Greenberg up and shut him down. So, and they were nervous because this is already giving us a perception of them that they don't want us to have.
Exactly. Yeah. Greenberg knew what he was doing. He threw the gauntlet down, baby. He
planned that.
Wide open, busted wide open.
Listen, he planned it, and he knew. Because the judge at the end of the day, she went ahead and granted the change in the lawyer's status. So Greenberg and Leonard at this point are gone. Greenberg knew this was going to be his last opportunity. What was that?
She asked R. Kelly, did he agree?
Yes. Before I say that, she did bring R. Kelly into the fold. He was present on the phone. She said, R. Kelly, do you agree with this change? He said, absolutely. Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. She gave him another opportunity to kind of confirm, did you indeed fire these two counsel? And he said yes. And he wanted to speak further. He apologized for the confusion. I apologize for the confusion. And then she stopped him, just like she stopped Greenberg, because he seemed like he had a whole speech prepared. I think he did, to be honest. Yeah, I think he had some words. And she asked, she told him, I don't think it's wise for you to speak. You have a whole couple of attorneys here to speak on your behalf. It's never a good idea for a defendant to speak. And she said, unless they, did you talk to them about it already? And who stepped in and said yes? Was it him or was it Nicole?
Nicole came in and said, yes, Your Honor. Mm-hmm.
Now, was she supposed to respond for him like that without even, she didn't say her name, or like she didn't use the protocol when she was responding?
Exactly. Like how you don't know to do that. Even in regular court, you have to do that. Come on. These are just basic lawyer functions.
And then with Nicole and Thomas behaving the way they were, it proved Greenberg's point. And that's why the judge was like, you know what? I'm giving y'all a quick decision. That's exactly what you're talking about. Y'all can't handle yourselves and conduct yourself professionally in a conference call. I know this is about to be a circus.
I felt like Judge Ann don't have the patience for the not having the protocols and knowing what like presenting themselves like they don't know what the hell they're doing with all that emotion in federal court. She don't have patience for that.
Well, she pointed out
very firm.
Well, she pointed out local rule 1.4 with regard to the withdrawal of the attorney, the motion to withdraw, and the fact that the the client has the ability to choose counsel. Greenberg confirmed he looked into the local rule, and Judge Ann said, and I wouldn't have granted adjournment anyway, but because Farinelli confirmed that they are ready to move forward with or without Leonard and Greenberg. They said we ready to go. We don't need them, basically. And she said, well, I wasn't going to grant adjournment either way. There is no adjournment going to happen.
You're not stopping this train, baby.
Not at all.
Full force.
And then, not only that, Nicole was, she didn't like the fact what Greenberg said, and she goes, well, he's already presented it publicly and to the court.
Yes, she wanted the chance to redeem herself because even though he didn't mention her name, she's the guilty party, and the guilty party always reacts, even if they're not named. And we know that. So nobody said your name, Nicole. You don't have to say nothing. You making yourself look guilty. And so she wants to respond. So the judge says, look, if there's a motion filed, you can respond to that motion, but you're not going to just be sending me some willy-nilly letters and information.
Yeah.
He broke my hip, or he did this, but he didn't say your name. So she can't even whine. She can't even whine and complain to Judge Ann if Greenberg don't file a reaction to this.
And he probably won't, because he's no longer on the case. He said what he had to say. He meant it. He had planned this. He knew that this was his probably last opportunity, not only to the judge, but there's, like I said, almost 200 people on the call, press, blogs. Everybody's going to be talking about this. And he knew this is the stage. This is my last mic drop opportunity. I'm going to get it all out there as much as I can. And because this hearing was his show. This hearing was because he filed that motion. So he knew he was going to have the opportunity to be the one to speak first or whatever. And Nicole and then probably expected this from him, but she clearly is not prepared for a federal courtroom. I don't even know that she's prepared for a state courtroom the way she sounded.
I know.
And it seemed very obvious too that the judge, like I think you said, Priscilla, earlier, ain't feeling her at all.
At all.
Because she don't even know how to conduct herself professionally and legally on a call. I know how she gonna be parading in the courtroom. And her and Thomas with his speed mouth, he act like he on speed. And,
I think they both hit a couple bumps before they went.
They were like Greenberg about to get us. He about to nail out. And Linear, whatever his name is. He let it all put the whole ball in Greenberg's court. Like Greenberg probably like, oh nigga, you gonna do me like this? Okay, I got you. I'm gonna show you how Greenberg really get down.
and all of this gonna be all on court TV and CNN and CBS.
Vinny
you
gonna
know,
have a
you
ball
know it.
with you.
You know they're
Vinny
gonna be
gonna have a
interviewing
ball.
him, and he
Oh
likes
yeah,
that
Greenberg's gonna
spotlight.
be everywhere. He might even come on my damn channel at this point.
Okay,
Hey,
Greenberg about
come
to get.
on, Greenberg. We want to talk to you. What's
But
the real deal?
but listen, can you imagine the infighting in the office or wherever they were doing their meetings and stuff? What they're doing this in front of the judge?
Yeah,
Girl, they were throwing coffee cups, slamming on the table, cussing each other out, walking out. She probably just all cut up like a real fool.
And you know
Yeah,
she's only been officially so the judge, she's not a Chicago or New York attorney or a Chicago attorney. Actually, I think she's licensed in Detroit, right? So
yeah.
right. No
she
license
she got
in New
permission
York.
from the judge to be added to the case as an attorney. She's not a lead attorney. I looked on there, so I'm assuming they're now going to be able to update the database, being that the judge has approved this termination or withdrawal. I don't know how she's going to do it. They didn't officially file a termination, so technically Greenberg beat them to the punch and filed his
Right.
withdrawal. So
Oh, good
officially,
point.
it's probably going to be a withdrawal and not a termination. And that I
Good
think was his
point.
point, to do that like he did. He's like, you gonna send me a email? Or he
Right.
probably got fired by them on the phone. They probably said he don't want you no more. He's like, well, he needs to tell us that. And he probably went to go see him to get that in person from R. Kelly and try to also persuade him not to do it. And R. Kelly refused to see him twice.
He
And
lifted that skirt up, honey, and showed them legs.
Them little Skeletor, coke-headed, coke, Illuminati powder legs. She needs to go down. She better hope it's not windy out when they fly all of them in that big Brooklyn bag, because strong wind gonna blow her away.
But
the
y'all
other
know
thing-
what? The Kel supporters and the Kel fans, they wanted Greenberg out. I even think somebody was praying for it. Like, yes, our prayers are answered. But
well,
you know
it took
what?
them long enough
tell
because
you
I've been
something.
saying that he needs to go for a long time. I wanted him to stay because I saw he was a bumbling idiot. He seemed to me to be a plant for somebody. I feel like he was an Illuminati plant. Somebody said, we need to go approach R. Kelly because he finna get in some deep shit. And we want you to be the one heading up his stuff. And that's exactly what happened. And not to say the man was set up. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that whatever he was doing, the higher powers of the entities were watching and didn't like it because he wasn't probably following their rules. So they had to put an end to his stuff. And that's where we're at right now. This is karma. This is him not doing the things that he was supposed to do, probably to keep his status. So
and he got status. So you could tell that he's the narcissistic type, that he probably thought, oh, I got it from here. I'm R. Kelly or whatever he thinks he is. And he really thought he was doing something. But you can't do that, baby. When you signed up for that and you had your briefcase full of money, as they say, flying home to propose to your mother, you messed up, buddy. And he know how scandalous when they get done with you, baby, you be standing in front of that mirror like, I'm for the help. I am smart. I am kind. My name is so and so. But you know what? Watch how them R. Kelly supporters go run with this. They're gonna put out all this false narrative. Oh, Mr. Sylvester Kelly.
Well, they really not gonna like when they transfer him to New York, which was the other matter that was brought up. The judge wanted to know, like, what is the plan for this? And so the prosecution responded that in advance of trial on 8/9, they've already submitted the paperwork for the transfer. And she wanted to know, well, how soon before 8/9? And they were like, well, the defense wants him in Chicago as long as possible. So so as close to 8/9, I guess, as possible, they're going to transfer him. They don't want him in New York, basically.
But guess what?
But Judge Ann said you're going to be here the week before for pretrial services. He needs to be here. So
right.
Fill it in to be here a week before. And, you know, I was thinking about what you said with the Illuminati. And Greenberg representing the elite did not want any kickback from Loose Lips Greenberg, you know, who already has come out and said some things that probably were not in R. Kelly's best interest.
Okay.
And what was interesting. Go ahead.
Oh, one last point I want to say that Ms. Kim had mentioned before when we were talking about this was that Greenberg tried to withdraw from the case, what, over a year ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Wow. So what struck me too was when Greenberg, when they were closing out, Greenberg thanked the prosecution. It was like he wanted to work with them. Like he's like,
Yeah.
I really was very honored and very thankful for working with the prosecutors. I was like, the prosecutors? He must have been really working with the prosecutors, like technically with the prosecutors.
Exactly.
And he might still work with the prosecutors after all this is said and done.
And guess
You
what?
want him to take that plea trial.
That collaborates what our theory is, might be a plant. And not only that, like he said on the one conference call, Your Honor, I never tried to get him out on bond. That was Doug Anton. And he said, I never disputed none of the discovery ever. And he said, can he have the marshals in them for protection when they do come to New York? And the judge, he just wanted to clear his name, like, it's not me. I ain't had nothing to do with none of this stuff.
Okay.
Y'all need to go
Wow.
figure this out amongst yourselves with the scheduling, but
You
he
know
need to
what
be here a
happened,
week
I think,
before.
with Greenberg with this too? I think because of the monkey show that's been going on with YouTubers and his pre-selected YouTubers that R. Kelly handpicked out before he went in. And I really believe that, because I believe that one Roger is a handler, enabler for real. And them two monstrous, strong-faced sisters is definitely some handlers.
Oh,
and
yeah.
sure the authorities know it. That's why, I hope they know everything is being watched with a microscope with them. And anywho,
Yes.
I think it got a little bit crazy. Greenberg, like, I didn't, I'm already doing some little mess. I didn't sign up for all this other out of whack mess. Y'all did, like, dang, I could see how Illuminati, I don't know where I heard that from. Been first 6 months of everything after he got taken in July 11th. When they said, Illuminati said they do something, but they don't do the stuff that he was doing and did. They ain't got nothing to do with this. They had they just turned around like, what the heck? How this turn around? Like, I know we be on the BS, but damn.
Hell, he was fighting for his life. They were going to subpoena, the feds were subpoenaing his bank records. They were, Greenberg and them were fighting, him and Anton were fighting for his life. The feds like, we want all the bank records. They had to file a motion to fight that.
And then they're still disputing.
He might get indicted.
They want to know the jury selection. And the judge like, you have to Friday, but you're not going to know the jury. Like Becker and Thomas, they're going to, you know what? He was better off with a public defender, to be honest.
Listen, Nicole Blank Becker, she clearly has some type of persuasion with R. Kelly. I know rumors about her, I don't know the rumors. Kim, you know the rumors.
She slept with him too. And she was part of his first trial and was besties with Drea at one point. And she was handling the child support event, especially on his behalf. And then not only that, I know that she was on that powder at the mansion party, especially at the acquittal. She was there in the pictures too. And then the way she looked, she got a witch nose and stuff. And all she missing is the big wart. She might be the one helping him with his little raggedy, weak ass witchcraft, because if she might know about that mess, because she act like she went from a professional field in her career till she got turned out, honey, and then she enjoyed it and no point of return. We don't know.
That R. Kelly voodoo, Kim? That R. Kelly voodoo?
Yeah. But guess what? They all vibrate at a low frequency, just like some of these YouTubers, and that's why they are easy targets to get manipulated and drew in when he got to hollering about, I gave you 30 years and it's too late, all this mess.
Well, Nicole Blank Becker is yet another example of how some pussy got this man in trouble. Because he fucked now. I'm gonna say that. Yeah. Based on what I heard on this hearing, he's fucked in court.
He act like he don't even see it.
I still believe it. I still always believe that Greenberg wanted him to plead.
I think
Yeah, he
Greenberg
probably did
knew.
try to convince him. If they did offer, like we don't even know, because you can't plea unless they offer the plea. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they did, because there was rumors that I saw somewhere it was they offered him 3 years with and then having to be a sex offender, register as a sex offender after, and that he denied that. If he denied 3
Oh.
years and to register as a sex offender, then he's a fool, because he's already
3 years.
Oh, I thought
free.
that was in the first
all?
trial. I thought that was in the first trial.
No, they were
But
saying.
Oh,
Well, maybe I didn't see any context to say that it was the first trial. So if that was
Yeah.
the case, then
I
my bad. But if that was
No.
for this one, then he should have taken it, because he would have already had almost time served at this point.
Hell,
I'm gonna
70 some
figure out.
charges and they got none dismissed. How in the hell would they only give him 3 years as a plea deal? That was a damn gift. That would have been a gift.
Maybe it was the first trial then, because even the first trial,
Yeah, because I think if we go really, I don't even know where to start. If it would be Jim Derogatis or would it be in the?
Okay, we'll get into that later. Look, we're going live later. We going live about R. Kelly. We have been following the case since the trial is upcoming, and every Wednesday live, we're going to dive into R. Kelly. So we have been following the crime line, and we're going to pick up where we left off. But we're going to talk about this continued later. But I do want to just make sure to say that the judge adhered to, the firing or the withdrawal, we'll say, because that was the only thing she could respond to, because it's the only thing that was filed. So
right.
Greenberg beat them to the punch, got his withdrawal. The Sixth Amendment right to choose counsel was honored. Was put out there to say that, look, even if you don't let them do this, he has his rights to choose who he wants.
Right.
So it worked out on that end for them. Everybody seemed like they wanted the same thing. Well, except for Greenberg. He went out fighting.
Yeah.
He didn't go out peacefully at all. He went in there. He was armed. He had grenades. He had everything.
Exposed.
Exactly. Age of Aquarius, baby.
Yeah.
So the final pre-trial conference is going to be in person, including R. Kelly. They want him there. That's in New York. And did they set the date for that on this trial, on this hearing? I don't know.
She said she was going to post it on the docket.
Okay.
Yeah, for the pre-trial.
So we'll look out for that and keep you posted. But yeah, we're going to be back tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, live. I will be scheduling that on YouTube. You can click the reminder. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't subscribed already. And until then, peace.
Warrior gang gang.
Warrior gang gang.
Okay.
Yeah.